Got three nice pretty lines right here. Okay, got blue, pink, and green. And what I want to do is I want to see if I can make a triangle. We've been talking about triangles here in this chapter, so I want to see if I can make a triangle out of these three lines right here. And it doesn't matter what the lengths of the lines are to make a triangle. Can I make a triangle out of any lengths whatsoever? If I had three line segments, all right, because a triangle is three sides, right? Can I make a triangle no matter what the line segments' lengths are? Think a little bit about it. You can. Any three segments I give you, you can make a triangle out of it. It'd have to be closed, wouldn't it, to be a triangle? Can I take any three? I mean, that opens it up a lot, doesn't it? Any three line segments. Well, let's try these. These are three line segments, right? So let's try these three line segments. So let's do this. Let's take the longer one, put it on the bottom. It's a little easier to draw it if we have that. And let's take this one. And where am I going to put one end of it? Put one end of it on one end of this line. Does that look like it's even? And I'll hit my rotational tool so I can make it go up a little bit. All right. So there's the beginning of a triangle, isn't it? All right. Now I'm not sure. I might have to change this a little bit, but let's take this one and put it right here. Does that look like it lines up? Pretty close. About right there. Hit my rotational tool and make it. Now right now it doesn't hit, does it? But if I mess around with it a little bit, I should be able to get it to hit. Maybe slide this one up just a little bit more. Pretty close, right? So it's looking pretty good. There we go. There's a little bit of a gap, but it's close enough. Okay, I mean, you can. If I messed with it just a little bit more, they would touch right there, perfect, wouldn't they? Let's scooch this up a little bit. Oops, there we go. Now look, I took those three segments. Actually, let's put those three segments back here like this. All right. Here's those three original segments, and I took those three segments and I made a nice, pretty triangle out of it. I don't know. That bothers me a little bit. I want this to... Oops, did the wrong one. Oh, I know why I did that, because I grouped it. I gotta ungroup it. Sorry about that. Let me try it one more time. I don't know, does that bug you a little bit? Having that one not quite hitting? Some of you guys couldn't give her a rip, right? But it bothers me a little bit. There we go. That looks a little better. Whew. I don't know, little stupid things like that bother me. I don't know why. All right, so there we go. We got a nice triangle right here. So far, you know, I took those three segments and I made a triangle out of it. But what if I did this? Let's change these segments around a little bit. Watch this. I'm going to change the length of this segment just a little bit. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to make it a little smaller. And go about like that. Can I make a triangle out of those three line segments? All right, let's give it a shot. All right, let's try it. So let's put this one down the bottom again. And you tell me if I'm doing something wrong or if I'm just, you know, if I'm just messing around with you a little bit. Okay, that looks like it lies right on there, doesn't it? And I'll tell you what, let's take this one. We'll lie it on, you know, we'll twist it up here in a little bit, but let's take this one over here. Because I want you to see something. Watch. Take this little one right here and line it up with that one. See what we have? We got a pink one here, right? The blue one is the whole thing. The green one's just that little short part. Now, if I start twisting them up, am I going to make a triangle? Am I going to be able to make a triangle out of it? There's no way. Because already, they're as long as they're going to get, aren't they? What if I took this and I started twisting it up a little bit like this? Then they actually do what? It's making it even worse, isn't it? Why is it making it worse? Because it's even making more of a gap between it. Would you agree? See, if I start making them go up like this, the gap even gets bigger and bigger. Right? The closest they could come to be a triangle is if they just go completely on that line. Would you agree with that? And there's no way I can make a triangle. I could go all day with those three line segments right there. There's no way I can make a triangle. Because, Jada, you said it earlier. You said what? It has to be what? It's got to be closed, right? There's no way that I can close that in with those particular lengths. Do you agree? Now, what was true? Oh, I should have done that. I'll tell you what. Let's do this instead. I'm just going to copy this, copy this, and copy this one. Now look, I'll try to line them up. What was different about the line segments here compared to the line segments we did up here? These were shorter, weren't they? Okay, because watch, if I did this, if I put this right there, and I put this right next to it, they don't even equal the whole thing, do they? Okay, everybody see that? So if I put these two next to each other, they don't even equal the whole thing. What if they actually did equal the whole thing? Could you make a triangle? You could? Think about it a little bit before you answer. I'm going to blow this up a little bit because I think I have this twisted just a little bit. I have to straighten it up a little bit, I think. Is that a little flatter? It's still off a little bit, but it's close enough. Okay, so you said, well, if they were equal to each other, I could make a triangle out of it, right? Tell you what, I'm not liking that line that I did. Let's start right here. We'll make a brand new one. Now, would you agree that those two, the pink one and the green one, are the same length as the blue one?
Yeah.
Can I make a triangle out of that? I can. So if I tilt the pink one up, watch, I'm going to line them right on top of each other here. Is that all right? Right there. Okay. So, is that on there? Oh, it's behind it. That's why you can't see it. Sorry, let me just do this. I can arrange and bring it to the front. There we go. There we go. Now watch. Would you agree the pink one and the green one make the same exact length as that blue one that's behind it?
Yeah.
Agreed? But can I make a triangle out of it? Because what happens? Ethan, explain it to me. You said no a couple times. Yeah, there's going to be a gap. They're going to be separated, right? Because the closest, watch my fingers right here. The closest they can get to a triangle is when they actually touch each other. Because they're actually touching each other right here. But watch this. Watch my fingers. Everybody looking up here? Look up here. Up here. Right here. Watch my fingers. As soon as I go like this, what happens? They separate. And they're going to separate more and more and more, aren't they? Nah, you got to think about them. You got to think about the lines. Remember, true lines don't have any thickness or width or anything like that. Okay, you have to think what a true line is. If I start, watch, let's tilt this one up. So if I start tilting, see that? It's not going to hit, is it? Yeah, but again, you're using the fact that these lines on the computer program actually have a little width, but if they're flat, if they're completely flat like this, and they just touch, right? Because they add up to exactly that other side. As soon as you start moving one up, they're going to start separating. I mean, think of your fingers. Okay, don't just think of the picture that I've drawn right here, because sometimes that can be a little bit. As soon as you start lifting up, they separate, right? And there's no way you can get a triangle out of that, is there? Because you got to have more than a 0-degree angle. There's just no way to do that. See, look, you're not going to be able to get one. All right? Because this computer program is not absolutely perfect. So you have to use a little bit of wisdom here. All right? So look what happens. They separate, don't they? As soon as you start lifting it up, it separates. And there's no way that you can get a triangle out of those lengths. So what do you think must be true? What do you think must have to be true in order to make a triangle? What do you think has to be true about... Oh, I copied that. Stink. I don't... Yeah, the two shorter ones. I'll tell you what, I'll just do this. Watch. Exactly. You said it perfect. I like how you said that. Watch. The two shorter ones have to add up to be larger than the largest one. Get it? So these two have to add up to be bigger than the blue one. So let's just see if we can make it do that. So if this green one Watch. If that green one was bigger, you see that? See how the green one and the pink one add up to be bigger than the blue one? Now can I get a triangle out of that? Absolutely I can. Okay? Did that make any sense at all to you? All right. Let's think of some numbers then. All right. So we said if the pink one and the green one add up to be bigger than the blue one was our largest one out of the three. Agreed? Even it's bigger than the green, it's bigger than the pink. All right. So if the two shorter ones add up to be bigger than the longest side, then we can have a triangle. So here's a question they're going to ask you. They're going to say, all right, here's a triangle with sides 3, 4, and we'll just say 5. Okay? So if I have a triangle, 3, 4, and 5, or can I, the question is actually, can I have a triangle with a side 3, 4, and 5? Why? What's the test? How do we know? Yep, 5's the longest one, so what do? We take the two shorter ones, add them together, and what is 3 plus 4? 7. Is 7 bigger than the largest side? Yes, it is. So can you have a triangle with sides 3, 4, and 5? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. What if you had this? What if you had, like, I don't know, let's do different numbers. Let's go 5 and 9 and 12. Can you have a triangle? I'm sorry, I lied. I don't want 12. Let's go like 17. All right, can you have a triangle with this length right here? 5, 9, and 17. What's the test? That's right. 5 plus 9 is what? 14. And if I take the two shorter ones, in order to have a triangle, it has to be what? It's got to be greater than 17. Is this, put a question mark here, is this greater than 17? Of course not. Okay, so can you have a triangle in this situation? No, you cannot. What if you had this? What if you had one side was 4, another was 7, and another one was 11? Can you have a triangle with these three sides? Why not? Because 4 plus 7 is what? 11. Is 11 greater than 11? Put a question mark here. No, because the two shorter ones have to be bigger, not equal to, right? We had a little discussion on that with our pictures. It's got to be bigger than this, and it's not, so is that a triangle? No, it's not a triangle. Okay? I'm going to show you another thing. I won't give you a huge explanation on it. I'll just show you how to do it real easy. Now watch this. They're going to give you a situation where they're going to give you two sides of a triangle. Let's just say 3 and 7. Okay? And they're going to say, okay, I've got two sides of a triangle. I want to know on that third triangle, what are the possibilities for the lengths of the sides on that third triangle? Can it be as big as I want? Can it be as small as I want it? Or does it have to be in between a couple numbers? It's got to be between a couple numbers. And what they're going to do is say this. They're going to say find the range. I'm not sure how I know they use the word range. Is this one marked? Yeah, this will be on your... Let me just see the problem so I can say it right. It says find the range for the measures of the third side. I'll just say the third side. The third side. So, well, let's think about it. Now, I usually go through this explanation, but I'm not going to on this because we're a little short on time today. So I'll just show you how to do it, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to take these two numbers and we're just going to subtract them from each other. So what's 7 minus 3? That's 4. Then we're going to take these two numbers, so we subtract them, and then we're going to take the two numbers and we're going to add them together. 3 and 7 is 10. And watch how I write this very carefully. So my third side, we'll call my third side x, has to be in between 4 and 10. All right, and we'll do a little test here. We do have a couple minutes. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a less than, less than. What does this mean? It means my side has to be bigger than 4, and this side has to be less than 10. Everybody see that? See how I wrote it? X, if I read it from right to left, x has to be greater than 4. Now if I read it left to right, x has to be less than 10. Give me a number between 4 and 10 and see if it actually works. Pick a number. 6? Okay, let's try 6. So can I have a triangle with sides 4, 6, and 10? Yep, 4 and 6, or
No, it's even.
Wait a minute.
Because 6 plus 4 is 10.
What just happened right there?
You said what's between 4 and 10. And I said 6.
Oh, yeah, it's not 4 and 10. What am I doing? Whew. Goodness gracious. I was wondering. I'm like, that's not going to work. Yeah, here's my sides, right? My sides aren't 4 and 10, are they? The two sides of my triangle are 3 and 7. Wow. Let's pick a number between 3 and 7. All right, you can pick 6 again, right? Because 6 is between 3 and 7. Sorry about that. I got a little off track. So let's pick any side between 3 and 7. I'm sorry. We said 6, right? 6 between 4 and 10, so we want to try 3, 6, and 7. Can you make a triangle with sides 3, 6, and 7? Yes, you can, because that's 9. 9 is greater than 7. Sure, we can get a triangle out of that. Pick another number between 4 and 10. 4 is not between 4 and 10. They can't equal 4 and they can't equal 10. 7? All right. So can we have a triangle with sides 3, 7, and 7? Sure, because 3 and 7 is 10. 10 is bigger than 7. Sure, we can. Let's do this. Let's pick a number that's not between 4 and 10. 3. All right? And so that means, so we come up here. Here's our two sides, right, of our triangle. Can I have a triangle with sides 3, 3, and 7? No, because look, if I add up the two shorter ones, that's a 6. Is that bigger than 7? No, it's not. Do you see? So if I pick a number smaller than 4, it's not going to work. Let's pick a number bigger than 10 and see if that works. 12, okay? Let's try 3. Well, yeah, we'll go 12 and 7. What about that? Well, you pick the two smaller numbers. It's not always the first two. Pick the two smaller numbers, 3 and 7. 3 and 7 is 10. Is 10 bigger than 12? No, it's not. So do the values that I picked actually work? Absolutely. Any number between 4 and 10 will work and make this a triangle. You know what I mean by make it work? Okay, because I got two sides of a triangle. I got to figure out the third side. And sure, all of those work. Any number that I pick between 4 and 10, you can pick decimals and fractions and everything else if you wanted to between 4 and 10. All right, and it will make this into a triangle. And that's what they're asking for. They say find the range. Let's do another one just so you know how to do this again. I don't know. Let's pick a number. Let's say 10 and 27. Okay. What is the range? Find the range for the third side of my triangle. These are two sides of my triangle. What could possibly be my third side of the triangle? Yep, I subtract them, so I get what? 17, and then I do what to them? I add them, and I get 37. So where do I put the x? In between them. And what do I put right here? Less than. And what do I put right here? Less than. That means x is any number between 17 and 37. That right there is your answer. That's what you write as an answer. It's a very, very simple problem to do, isn't it? You just subtract them. You just add them, stick x in between, put a couple less than symbols, and you're good to go. Yeah, you don't have to put them in and check like we did. We just did that just to show you that that actually works. Okay, so this is what you circle right here. All right, you subtract them, then you add them. It's really, really easy. Okay, this lesson should be pretty simple. All right, and it's 5.5. Worksheet 5.5, and it's page 67. And I'm giving that to you right now.